Hey, Luke Roulette, how about yourself? You been in the match race before?
Yeah, but usually it would be a second heat or a third heat. You know, this is going to be different here. You know, match race. I've never been in one before, but I've been in finals where there's only 2 or 3 horses.
And I remember you told me that they want to race Worldly Beauty this year off the pace. Certainly her first start worked to perfection.
Well, you know, she's got to a red-like speed, you know, hopefully, you know, that works right for her tonight, you know.
John Stark, Bunny Lake, approaching $2 million. Is she as good now as she's been?
Actually, yeah, she seems a lot stronger this year than even last year. She seems to keep well, keeps her weight good this year, and she just feels good all the time.
Well, we'll be seeing you right here after the race in the winner's circle?
I'll tell you in about 15 minutes.
Okay, John Stark, Luke Roulette, how about you? We're going to see you right after the race for another interview?
I sure hope so.
Okay, there are the connections, the drivers, they're going at it. Bunny Lake and Worldly Beauty coming up, 10 minutes, the post parade coming up for the match race.
59 on the board, top 3 finishes for Bunny Lake. She's owned by the W Springtime Racing Stable and John Stark Jr., and John Stark Jr. trains and drives. Bunny Lake, of course, the 2001 Horse of the Year and 3-year-old Pacing Filly of the Year in her division. She won 18 in a row to end that season. Average earnings per start for Bunny Lake, over $33,000. Bunny Lake from post 1 for John Stark Jr. And now stepping onto the track is number 2, Worldly Beauty, MJG Racing Stable and the Hillview Enterprises. Patrick LaChance, the trainer, and his uncle Luke Roulette is in the sulky behind Worldly Beauty, 2-time Dan Patch Award winner as both a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. She's won 19 of 23 in her career, 22 of 23 on the board finishes. Average earnings for Worldly Beauty over $68,000. And Worldly Beauty has career earnings of over $1.5 million. Her 19 victories by a combined margin of 42.5 lengths. Her average margin of victory, 2.25 lengths. Worldly Beauty, one of 11 sons or daughters of the great Art Place to reach $1 million in their career, and she is the second richest daughter ever, behind only Galleria. And if you think you're having trouble deciding who to bet, a poll on the United States Trotting Association website is run for the past couple of days. With over 2,500 votes in, it is split 50-50 between Bunny Lake and Worldly Beauty. 2 of the greatest mares in the history of the sport will go to the post in 5 minutes. Worldly Beauty, Forest Skipper defeated Falcon Sealster, Probe and Park Avenue Joe in a dead heat in that dramatic Hambletonian race-off. And for the 3rd time in Meadowlands history, a match race between 2 horses. The gate is picking up speed, and the Killer Bees, Bunny Lake and Worldly Beauty, about ready to go at it. And they're off, and they pace out of there together, and Bunny Lake and John Stark Jr. have no intention of giving up that inside advantage, and they'll take the lead onto the opening turn as Luke Roulette backs off early with Worldly Beauty and drops her neatly in behind Bunny Lake as they pace toward the quarter. And as soon as Worldly Beauty tucks, Stark grabs into Bunny Lake a little bit, looking to back down the pace, and Bunny Lake is traveling comfortably on the lead right now, and Worldly Beauty is also sitting pretty comfortably in the pocket there in second. The opening quarter in 27-2 as the 2 mares head down to the back stretch. Their sires, Precious Bunny and Arts Place, were rivals, and these 2 are set up for a great rivalry this season. Worldly Beauty, of course, now 4, her first time against older mares, and Bunny Lake now at age 5, one of the most prolific mares in the sport. No change in position and no pace here as John Stark is able to back into Worldly Beauty. Bunny Lake is comfortably in front, and it will turn into a sprint home, and Worldly Beauty looks pretty relaxed there, sitting in second right on the helmet of John Stark Jr., and the half was in 58-2, a 31-second second quarter. So Bunny Lake is waiting for Worldly Beauty to commit to the outside, and the pace is still very soft as they head around the far turn. Bunny Lake controlling the front end here, and Stark is doing everything that he's wanted to do so far, being able to back down the pace, and Worldly Beauty is now showing the whip right on the helmet there of Bunny Lake, and Luke is waiting as long as possible as the pair pace to the 3-quarter marker, and Bunny Lake hits that station 128-2, a 30-second third quarter, and now the sprint begins, and Bunny Lake has the lead. Worldly Beauty is tipped to the outside, though, and they are rolling with 1/8 of a mile to come. Bunny Lake Lake is digging in gamely. Worldly Beauty trying to get to her on the outside. Bunny Lake hanging in there. Worldly Beauty still a length away, still trying on the outside. Bunny Lake is almost there, and at the line it is Bunny Lake holding on from Worldly Beauty. It looked like perhaps ahead in 1:54 2/5. And the sport of harness racing as well, as two of the greatest mares in the history of the sport and two of the classiest performers lock up in an exciting stretch duel in the match race, with Bunny Lake prevailing in 1:54 2/5. So for Bunny Lake, that's her 38th career victory in 60 starts. Career earnings for her, well over $1.9 million. She will receive the trophy from the Vice President and General Manager of the Meadowlands, Mr. Chris McErlane, along with the Director of Racing, Tad Stockman, also in the winner's circle to make presentation to the Spring families, W Springtime Racing Stable, and winning co-owner, trainer, and driver, John Stark Jr. Skip Spring joined in the winner's circle by the co-owners of Worldly Beauty, Craig Lipka and Mike Galata, along with Luke Willett and Patrick LaChance as well, congratulating the winning connections. Certainly a dramatic finish to this match race as Bunny Lake holds off the last surge of Worldly Beauty to prevail in 1:54 2/5.
I didn't think John was going to let me get around him, so I tucked behind him. And like I said, it was going to take thoroughbred speed to get around him finishing. And for now on a handicap, I just know she can't come home no better than 25-4. So
In a race like this, it's almost impossible to look back and try to do anything different, but is there any chance you might have pulled in the far turn a little bit earlier?
No, I think if I pull earlier, I just get beat more. You know, I think I got to him. I got to as close as I was going to get to him, and you know, that's it. You know, 25-4. That's all we could do.
Great effort from Worldly Beauty. John Stark, tell us the first 16th, first eighth of a mile here, very, very quick.
Well, it did actually come down to post position. I think if the post position was reversed, I don't know if I could beat him from behind because, you know, when I got my own way, it's kind of hard to get by her because nobody softened her up.
Bunny Lake goes where next?
She comes back here next week for the elimination for the Lady Liberty.
Is she right now the best filly or best mare around with Eternal Carnation returning?
Well, I don't know. Worldly Beauty's pretty good, so. I mean, there's three good ones right now.
Okay, John Stark. Patrick LaChance, tell us what kind of week did Worldly Beauty have coming in here?
She had a really good week. She's just as good. She's better than ever, actually, right now. She's sounder than she was as a 2- and 3-year-old, and she's good.
And she heads to the Lady Liberty also?
Yes.
Raced against the boys last week. It's only her second start. Worldly Beauty, Luke said, and I think you said, you want to race her off the pace this year?
You know, there's great mares. I don't think there's going to be any controlling the miles or bullying anybody around here, obviously. There's a lot of good mares, and yeah, you know, I guess the trip's going to win, you know.
Okay, Patrick LaChance, congratulations. The owners, Craig Lipka here, Mike Galata, and the Springs are here. First, Craig Lipka, tell us Worldly Beauty, from the moment she stepped on the track, has been a special, special young lady.
She absolutely has. I mean, right from the start, her first qualifier, she came home in 55, and we went, oh my God, this could be the one.
And Michael Otta, tell us, what's the ride been like in the now third season of part owning Worldly Beauty?
This is a dream come true. Worldly Beauty is a very, very special animal. We're blessed by God to have a horse like her. She's just fabulous. And Bunny Lake's a fabulous horse, too. I want to congratulate Skip Spring.
In your second start of the year, there's going to be several of these matchups coming up, I would imagine.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to next week and the week after. And hopefully we won't go 128 to the 3/4.
Okay, Skip Spring, tell us a little bit about, you had the horse of the year 2 years ago, but judging by tonight, Bunny Lake hasn't missed anything, hasn't lost a step.
No, Bunny Lake is actually, she's better now and stronger than she's ever been. John's done a good job. Last year we came out of the box, I think, a little bit too fast, went too many 49 miles early on, cut the mile, and this year we've been training her a lot easier, turning her out like John said, and she's come back beautifully. And you know, John says she's not even tight yet, so I hope that we get tight in a couple weeks for the Lady of Liberty, but nothing. Worldly Beauty's an unbelievable animal. It's just an honor to be on the racetrack with Worldly Beauty. And Mike, I don't know who was worse, Mike or myself all week. I didn't dare call him, but I know we were both going nuts all week long. It was Mike's idea to have this match race originally.
Tell us a little bit about the charities involved here, because it's not just purse money here, there's some other considerations here also.
That's right. We consider this to be a win-win all the way around, and especially for the charities. You know, we got the Harness Youth Horse Foundation, a check for $5,000, and a check for the Standardbred Retirement Foundation for $5,000. So they're a winner. Worldly Beauty's a winner. Bunny Lake's a winner. Harness Racing and all is a winner.
Okay, Skip Spring, and one thing, Craig Lipka, you've been dealing with these charities before.
Oh, absolutely. Based on Worldly Beauty's efforts, we've been an annual contributor to the Harness Horse Youth Foundation and also to the Vincent Abadi charity for the kids of the employees of the Meadowlands.
Okay, well, it was a wonderful event as advertised right there on the wire together. Couldn't get any better than this. We'll see them both back here next week. Here they are, the connections of Bunny Lake and Worldly Beauty, and charities are involved also. We'll be giving out that check here right now.
Harness Racing, the Harness Horse Youth Foundation, and the Standardbred Retirement Foundation. Certainly the three big winners tonight in the exciting match race between Bunny Lake and Worldly Beauty. Congratulations to everyone involved.